On this April 17th, as we have this conversation, today was supposed to be race day for the Buck 50 here in the Ross County area. We'll talk with organizer Dave Huggins here in just a matter of moments. They've got new dates and more details just ahead. We're brought to you today by Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue. Zero-turn mowers are here, and so is mowing season, too.
Cut in total professional comfort. Husqvarna. Available now at Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue, Chillicothe.
We're joined now by Dave Huggins, the organizer of the Buck 50, which is a big race, 150 miles and 10-person teams over a 24-hour period. This would have been, was this your fourth race this year?
Fourth race, yep. April 17th, as we sit here today, would have been our fourth race. And, I had this kind of join on probably 6 months is I wanted to be so organized this year that come Friday morning, I could sit on that walk bridge up at OUC and drink coffee. And we were going to have, coffee with the race director in this calm, cool, collected environment, which is really not, that might've been a pipe dream, but in general, it was like, plan, prepare, be ready, relax, enjoy some music, watch runners come in. And I'm at home. I'm not at OUC right now, Dan.
I cannot imagine what you and other organizers of large events have been going through. I know they just rescheduled the memorial tournament, but you found yourself kind of in the early stages. I mean, you were out painting road markings and things for the race just a month ago. And then April 4th, you decided, hey, we need to move the date. And I think you found a safe date for that in July 24th and 25th.
We'll see. Yeah, I was, the Buck 50 is such a unique event, those, early March, late February, COVID-19 came up on the radar. We were hearing about it. There was a mandate that came out about, you couldn't have gatherings of 100 people. And so, we started thinking internally that there's things that we can do to plan around this. The race is so spread out. Yes, we have 100 teams. I think we ended up with 106, which was a new record for us this year. We've grown every year. That was so exciting. So we were pumped up for the race, but we felt like we could plan around it. And then that dropped from 100 people to 50 people. And then I think it was about mid-March, probably the 16th, where all of a sudden it was 10 people, restaurants were closing, and we were like, whoa, maybe what we think we can do is not possible. And, really just came to everyone's safety to postpone the race.
And this, of course, is very close to home for you, too, because with the COVID-19 all starting to break out, one of your close co-workers in organizing this is William Presson, who has been very proactive in talking about the COVID-19 on his Facebook page because he has been a victim of COVID-19. And he's on the rebound, which is fantastic news. But man, he was out there with you painting all the markings not long ago, right?
Yeah, William is a huge part of the Buck 50. To me, there's so many success stories with the Buck 50 in so many, different fashions. But Brenda Phillips, who was the associate dean at OUC, early, committee member with us, and we were talking about, we need some IT help. We need someone with some of these technology type things. And so she introduced William to us. William had never really done any volunteering. He's a youngster, but he came on board with a fury once he kind of figured out everything that was happening, and really has a passion for the Buck 50 and what the Buck 50 is doing with drug prevention and runners. And sometimes I even, as big and grand as I like to think, Dan, I think sometimes William is even ahead of me sometimes in what he sees the future of the Buck 50. But, William works at the Ohio State University James Cancer Center and, did contact COVID-19, was beat down for a while, I guess is a word. was not hospitalized during the experience, but has been tested and did test positive. But, to me, that's something that I think we all need to be aware of as people who live in Southern Ohio. We think we're maybe insulated from this, disease and virus that's going around. We think of New York City and everyone's heard about the tragedies there, but, anyone can catch this. You just got to really follow some precautions and, the social distancing, washing your hands, the mask, the not touching your face is a huge deal. So, I personally will ask everyone, and I'm sure William feels the same way, to, follow those precautions.
I messaged back and forth with William last week, and he said when he feels up to it, he will want to come on and talk about what this experience has been like. Because that's one thing we haven't heard a whole lot. So we haven't heard the firsthand experience with the COVID-19 virus. So, and continued prayers for him. He was feeling much better. So that is good.
Absolutely. Yep.
We want to touch on also the reason for this race. It's not just a bunch of people going out and having a good time running. You've got the M.A.D.E program, and this has got to be a difficult time for you in that respect, too, because it benefits high schoolers directly, and they've been out of school for the last month.
It has, Dan, and for us, this was year 4 for the race, and this was also year 4 for these kids being in, Drug-Free Clubs America with the M.A.D.E program. And to us, that was going to be a really exciting thing. This was going to be our first class of kids who were enrolled for 4 straight years. But their world, like everyone else's, has been turned upside down, and our heart really goes out to them. I think this is a challenging, life experience for all of us. But imagine being a high schooler and you work towards this senior year. And now all of a sudden, maybe it's your, final spring sports season. It's the last few days of class with a teacher that you admired, proms and graduations are all up in the air. So, from the Buck 50, first of all, we're thankful for all of our kids in M.A.D.E. We're thankful for all those kids who have, are 4-year members. And for these seniors, our hearts and prayers to them that they can find some positive things to get through this whole situation we're in. But, everything we do at the Buck 50 was founded on those kids, and we certainly love them.
And if you're not familiar with the M.A.D.E program, it's a rewards program that gives kids an opportunity to enjoy some of the, can we say, luxuries of being in the Ross County area, but you've expanded to many other schools outside of Ross County as well in recent years.
The program is really something that I really credit the folks of Ross County for. To say that they do a first-class job is probably not even close enough to, explaining how great of an effort so many hundreds of people in the schools and the volunteers and the different groups, like Rotary and, the Lions and Kiwanis have all helped us out in. There's 60 different schools that have the Drug-Free Clubs of America program, and the Buck 50 supports 8 of those here in Ross County. One thing that's very unique about our chapters is of the 8 schools that we have, every school has over 50% enrollment into the program. So you talk about changing the culture and changing the area. When you're the majority, that really makes a big difference. And we lead all those 60 schools. I think there's maybe only 2 or 3 other schools that are above 50% in enrollment of those 60. So really kudos to the administrators in Ross County, all the superintendents, the school coordinators who lead this program. They do a phenomenal job of supporting these kids, and especially the business community as well.
To get back to the race itself, July 24th and 25th will be the dates this time around. We hope everything starts to get back to some sense of normalcy in the coming days. And having said that, all your sponsors stay on board with you and all of that going along very well for you?
It has. When we first made the decision, we sat around and we decided, do we postpone or cancel? it was pretty adamant in the room that, we as an organization and team want to put on the race. I mean, we have as much fun as the people running around the course and the volunteers. So, it's an enjoyment for us. But then we started looking at dates and, where do you postpone to? We've established this April race, but, we felt like anything in May or June was going to be too early. There's still a lot of unknowns. So we started looking at, as we could go in July. So it would be difficult to ever express the monumental situation that it is to put on the Buck 50, 150 miles, 30 different checkpoints. There's landowners, there's equipment that we rent, there's, volunteers and teams of people coming in, there's different things that people that we hire. So, I mean, we work for 12 or 13 months to organize that for April. And now you take basically the rug out from under us, and all those hundreds of people that we have in place, now we have to say, are you guys available in July? It's crazy. And we're still, working through those things, but, we're thankful to the support of all the landowners that we have. That's really coming together. But really the first place we started was OUC. That's the start finish line. That facility is not available to us in the fall. So, it was really, we were basically pigeonholed into probably a, July type of experiment. And hopefully, people stay healthy. It sounds like there's some restrictions going to be released or eased up the 1st of May. And hopefully our country and state and community can just continue to heal through this experience and get to July and put this sucker on. We're excited. We really are.
I got to think also that maybe with all the exposure that we're getting now for this, maybe more people will want to get on board in July. So if you're a business who wants to participate, or maybe you've never participated before, how does someone get involved with the Buck 50?
The first thing I'd tell them was just to shoot me an email. It's super simple, dave@thebuck50.com. Shoot me an email. We'll begin discussions on how you want to participate. We've had to change a lot with our runners in moving it. We have a virtual option now. So for those who maybe have other plans or things have changed and they can't make this July 24th and 25th race date, we have a virtual option where they can, run 152 miles as their team and record those, miles as they, produce them. And we'll send them their race medals and race shirts. Race medals, we feel like something is always earned, never given. So, I think we have about 10 teams who are looking into doing that option instead of running with us physically here in July. But that's still exciting. They still want to be a part of the race. They want to be a part of the cause. So we're making lots of adjustments and figuring this thing out as we go. But certainly if you have questions, want to get involved, heck, we'd even take a couple more teams if someone said, hey, I couldn't run in April, but I can in July. We'll have those discussions. But email me at dave@thebuckfifty.com.
If they are not chomping at the bit just yet, I'm sure they will be by July. So Godspeed to you. And
Back at you, Dan.
We will do our best to get more information about the Buck 50 out to everybody. And we wish you well. Thank you for spending time with us here today, Dave Huggins.
Thanks, Dan, and thanks, Letter Media. Have a great day.